and welcome to my video, Top 5 Cities for Guys Nightlife. Best nightlife cities in the world must watch. In this video I will be talking about what I think are the top 5 cities for single guys nightlife, and we explore the top spots worldwide for finding those elusive encounters with the fairer sex. But first, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to smash the bell icon so you don't miss out on the next video. While not all of these cities are inexpensive, they're all lively and have world-class nightlife and great action for single guys and girls. Let me run down for you some of my own personal choices that I have had the pleasure of experiencing the delights and downright debaucheries of a good time. In no particular order, I start at number 5 with my own country's capital city, London, where I could probably do a whole video on. Maybe I will in the future. London is generally known for its shifted and brilliant nightlife on the ends of the week, yet in addition during the non-weekend days. Revelers will discover regions, neighborhoods, bars and clubs to provide food for all preferences, persuasions and tastes. It is a vibrant city with many different cultural influences. These are the main 5 spots and regions to go out around evening time. Mayfair. Situated in the core of the city, Mayfair is perhaps the most costly and selective spaces of London, with 5-star lodgings, shops, cafes and bars. The most well-known road is Bond Street. This region ought to be kept away from by explorers on a tight spending plan. Soho. Soho is an absolute necessity on any explorer's list when visiting London, and particularly at evening time. Situated in focal London, it is well known for its stylish cafes, unrecorded music settings, cool bars and clubs. It is additionally the center point of gay nightlife in the city, and where the mongers amongst you will have the greatest joy. But you will struggle to find a bargain anywhere in this city. East London. East London is an energetic and socially fascinating area. It is home to various huge occasions and is known for its selective eateries, bars and clubs. London's coolest regions, Shoreditch and Dalston, can be found here. Camden. Located in northwest London, it is a notable region for its market and energetic bohemian nightlife. This is the spot to go on the off chance that you like live gigs. This region makes certain to dazzle all that dare to its bars and bars. South Kensington. Kensington is perhaps the most well-off area in London. It is additionally known for its variety of stylish cafes and selective clubs, making it a top spot to go for a mixed drink and to find London's nightlife. Before you plan a night out in the city, note that most bars shut down at 11 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. Bars, then again, normally close around 12 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on non-weekend days, and ends of the week, and clubs by and large stay open until 4 a.m. Be that as it may, it is feasible to track down a couple of clubs open until 7 or 8 a.m., for instance, Fabric. On the baseline though, London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So be prepared to spend some serious cash on a good night out in the United Kingdom's capital city. At number 4 we have New York. The city that does not sleep. Not as expensive as London, but New York's club game is lacking in comparison after Mayor Giuliani effectively closed the club scene in the 90s to halt the spiraling drug problems in the city's nightlife. But the bar scene is pretty damn good and well worth a trip to experience. I go into detail in my past travel stories on the channel, New York the Beginning, where I take you on the journey with me back in 2010 on my very first real travel adventure. If you haven't watched those videos, skip back through the channel and give those a watch. It's a 2-part travel story, and it gets very interesting indeed. Manhattan is the main spot in New York, closely followed by Brooklyn. If you're a single guy and on the hunt when attempting to attach with provocative New York City young ladies, there are a lot of choices. Assuming you think a lot about this town by any stretch of the imagination, you are as of now mindful that the most sizzling young ladies party in Manhattan as a rule. It contains a portion of the most amazing property in the world, just as large numbers of the trendiest dance clubs in the US. Not exclusively will we talk about bars and clubs. You will discover whatever inconvenience you need to get into in the NYC Lone Wolf nightlife. As referenced, assuming you need to party with provocative young ladies, the Manhattan Dance Club are the go-to spots. Obviously, they will not be modest or simple for the normal person to get into. Again, I could probably make a whole video about New York's nightlife, but I think I will keep it minimal for this video. For some trendy atmospheric bars to take your date on, head on over the Brooklyn Bridge near the water to Williamsburg, the new and up-and-coming swanky part of Brooklyn. But when anyone thinks of New York, they think Manhattan. With the skyscrapers and the bright lights, that is where the party's at. With some great bars and clubs dotted all over the island. At number 3 is Bangkok, the capital city of Thailand. This is by far the most inexpensive destination on this list, where you will definitely get more bang for your buck. I also think personally it's my favorite, and it ticks all the boxes for an intrepid traveler like myself. If you're looking to have fun on a budget, this is the city for you. Anything you desire to accomplish should be possible in a city like this, and assuming you need to take a pleasant excursion to a fascinating spot at a modest cost, it is difficult to beat. The best city to take a modest spending excursion in Bangkok. Ideally, when you are done perusing it, you will actually want to get a good deal on your excursion and possibly have the option to return and visit again a little sooner than you could bear in any case. We will get going with the great worth that you can discover not too far off in the air terminal when you land. Then, at that point, talk about where in the city you should remain, how to discover spending food that is still acceptable, and obviously talk about the incredible nightlife. The modest public transportation is probably the best thing about Bangkok and assists with separating it from other spending travel destinations all throughout the planet. A lot of folks who visit here just think about the mongering and pay-for-play nightlife. Be that as it may, when going on an outing to Bangkok, it isn't difficult to meet ladies online with the expectation of complimentary fun. Dating destinations online are stacked with single young ladies that have an interest in foreign men. This is a city with an enormous populace, all things considered, so there are a lot of young ladies searching for different things. Simply bring her out to the shopping center for a speedy supper and welcome her back to your place to hang out. Possibly watch a film, pay attention to music or whatever. They will not all say yes, yet many will. And when you are separated from everyone else in a room with them, it shouldn't be difficult to score. Dating apps are effective in this city, as I can vouch for in my past visits here. I was amazed at how well they worked here and how popular I was on them. I won't name them and give them free endorsement, but just skip back and watch my previous travel stories to gauge my success on them in Thailand. It may not be full-on first world. However, it is very close and the costs for most things are madly modest. Furthermore, being by a wide margin the greatest city in Thailand, there are numerous young ladies to look over, and any road you like to meet them will work incredible. Like most travel channels, I recommend you attempt to remain someplace along Sukhumvit on the BTS line, which is an exceptionally helpful SkyTrain framework. I'm not certain there is better incentive for a lovely present-day Uber city stacked with loads of charming young ladies any place on the planet, and the city has true electric energy, and its hustle and bustle is a must experience for any intrepid traveler. At number 2 is Dubai. This Arab kingdom has surprisingly turned into a wealthy man's hedonistic playground, where many non-Islamic partying behaviors goes on a daily basis. On the off chance that you have the cash to go out and party with provocative young ladies in Dubai clubs and nightlife, just as some gains, then, at that point you can have a great deal of accomplishment in the get bars in and out of town. Anyway, regardless of how you get it, modest sexy fun is elusive. There are unquestionably numerous choices for where to party here. A significant number of the top clubs recorded here are exceptionally broadcasted, and most single men living here presumably definitely think about them. As the normal working week begins a Sunday and closes on a Thursday, most of clubs, for example, White Dubai, Industrial Avenue, Cavalli Club, Stereo Arcade and Blue Marlin Ibiza, are at their most active on Thursdays and Fridays. This is the case separated from the numerous famous areas of interest that have a women's evening. This typically happens on one or the other Tuesday or Wednesday, and this will see women entering for free, and are even offered free beverages and food. While most clubs open at around 9-10 p.m. and normally nearby 3 a.m., there are short clubs, for example, Base Dubai and White Dubai, that stay open until 4 a.m. This is generally because of an extraordinary permit being allowed. Along these lines, regardless of whether you're hoping to spruce up for a night out at one of Dubai's greatest clubs or simply an easygoing night out for certain companions, there are a lot of gathering spots to pick from. Another thing that's worth a mention is that Dubai has a very high immigrant population, consisting of lovely Philippines ladies in numerous amounts for the taking, and as I have stated in past videos, they are very receptive to Western travelers. We are going to hit on a great deal of things like decent cafes for a date, relaxed bars or parlors, bars with unrecorded music, the absence of strip clubs, and end with the best dance club. This way you can take a young lady on a decent date to live like royalty here, or you can take off late and attempt to get a scandalous young lady to get your fun in Dubai. We won't get into costs here. This is a costly spot. Assuming you need to stress over your financial plan, you most likely are in an ideal situation visiting another place. At number 1 is the Central European country, the Czech Republic's capital city, Prague. I went there for a long weekend back in 2008 and had a great time. This city doesn't have a decent standing among the movement manosphere for one primary explanation. There are simply such a large number of unfamiliar men coming here to gathering and attempt to get laid nowadays. Possibly it is a direct result of all the skanky Czech young ladies they find in pornography, or due to the notable prostitution scene, or perhaps it used to be an extraordinary city to visit to connect in, yet nowadays it unquestionably appears to be worked out. It is not necessarily the case that you can't have some accomplishment here, and ideally this video on Prague's nightlife. Even though the climate will not be incredible, if you will probably meet some attractive single Czech women and get laid, then visiting outside of the pinnacle travelers season may be your most obvious opportunity to connect with some locals. Most fellas come here from June to August. If you come during the colder weather months, you will not need to manage the large number of unfamiliar men. There may be fewer young ladies going out around evening time also. However, from a proportion point of view, the bars ought to be substantially more in support of yourself and getting lucky. In any case, we expect most visitors will take off throughout the mid-year, since individuals are animals of propensity and folks love to go throughout the late spring. We will get going this video guide by referencing probably the best spots to get the warm women of the night great, just as day game spots to attempt to meet attractive young ladies in Prague when the sun is still up. In general, Prague is a decent spot for guys' nightlife and is not too expensive, compared to some of this video's previous mentions. It's well worth a visit, with some great local beer and some very beautiful young ladies who are readily available. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't seen the first video in this series called The Best 8 Travel Destinations for Single Guys Before the Pandemic, please skip back and enjoy. I have linked it at the end of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and smash the bell icon, so you don't miss out on the next video. Until the next time.